No. Hello everyone and welcome to a new chapter in the story of Greta. Today we are going to look at the mechanical side of the car. In the previous episode you saw that we cleaned the car entirely, which makes it a lot nicer to work on, and that is what we are going to do today. So the plan is that we are going to move the car back inside of the shop, and then we are going to put it on the lift and see what parts we need to buy to fix this thing and to get it back on the road. And then once we have determined everything we need to buy, we are going to try to start her for the first time in 10 years. As you saw in the first episode of this series, our Volvo 240 is fitted with a 6-cylinder 2.4 liter NA diesel engine. The engine hasn't run for 10 years but supposedly ran when parked. Currently it has no coolant and the oil level seems very low, so it speaks for itself that we are going to take care of those things before we fire her up. But first we're going to put Greta on the lift, because we haven't inspected her underside yet. What amazed us immediately is how sturdy everything is built underneath. It really does justice to Volvo's reputation of being built like tanks. Something else that surprises is that there is virtually no rust on the underside of the car, which is great news. The undercoating on the left rocker panel seems to be hiding a little bit of corrosion, but it still feels hard as a rock. The right side, however, is in perfect condition. The only mentionable rust that we found is sitting behind the rear bumper. At some point we'll have to take it off and take a proper look at it, because it looks like a large area. The rest of the car looks really solid. The suspension bushings are in excellent condition, the brake lines show no corrosion at all, and the exhaust seems leak-proof. The brakes, however, look like what you'd expect after 10 years of not being used. They are fully rusted, so they'll need a replacement together with the pads. The brake pedal can easily be pushed to the ground, so that means no brake pressure can be established, so that will need investigating. However, there is also some good news concerning the brakes, because the hub can be spun freely, so that means that the calipers probably aren't seized. It looks like Greta took a giant dump in her skid plate, but it mostly consists out of stuff that grew in the forest. We took a look at both the accessory and timing belts, and they look like they are in good enough shape to start the car for the first time. Obviously we want to change them as soon as possible, but not all the parts we ordered have been delivered yet, so for today these belts will need to do. To prep the engine for its first start, there are some things that we are going to be addressing. We're starting with an oil change. Next we're draining out all the diesel and changing the filter. After Greta received some fresh diesel to drink, only a few tasks remain. One of the coolant hoses has a rip in it, so we're trimming it down and sliding it back on so that we can fill up the car with water.
Not great, not terrible.
We're going to start with using normal tap water in case all of it needs to come out again, because we don't want to waste coolant. Jasper had this battery laying around, but its condition is unknown. We're hooking it up and hoping that it is strong enough to turn over the engine.
Finito.
Okay.
Ja?
Ja. Ja. Quickly it became evident that the optimistic fix of the high pressure line is leaking. In all of our excitement we kind of forgot to replace it, but luckily we came prepared. So we're quickly going to replace the line and give it another go. We're feeling that the battery Jasper brought is no bueno, so we're going to throw in the one from my E28.
Ja, ik had ook geen lampje. Kijk die springen. Ja, dat kan ook wel. Niks hè.
Ja, hier draait hem. Ja. The three of us couldn't be happier with how well she is running. It is unbelievable that a car that sat for so long runs this smooth with only a bit of maintenance. And now listen up to how easy it starts up again. Knowing that the engine and driveline should be okay makes us really excited about driving it for the first time. But the only roadblock in our way are the brakes. We still have no brake pressure and we suspect that the culprit is the brake master cylinder, so we're going to take it out. The brake fluid looks like it came out of a sewer and it smells likewise. With the third water out of the bowl, we're taking off the master cylinder so that we can disassemble it. It looks like the piston is sticking in the bore, so I'm going to try to take it out and clean everything inside, hoping that this will fix our issue. It's hard to tell, but it looks like there is a lot of rust in the bore. This means that we'll probably need to buy a new one, but for the heck of it we're going to try to clean it and install it again. We tried bleeding the system, but we couldn't build up any pressure because the piston is sticking in the back of the brake master cylinder. So nothing else that we can really do tonight but to drop it down on the ground. I want to put my E28 on the lift so that tomorrow I can take a look at its leaking brake line. But I also want the Volvo to sit inside because obviously it still doesn't have a window and it has a hole in the roof. So I think we're going to put the E28 on the lift and then park the Volvo under it. So that marks the end of a long weekend of hard labor, but I have to say that it was definitely worth it. Yesterday we did the cleaning episode and then today we filmed the first start. So it is safe to say that a lot of progress has been made over the past few days. The three of us are so excited that she is running this smooth because we were kind of worried about something being broken, like the high pressure diesel pump, for example. That would put a big dent in our budget if it was broken, but luckily everything is okay with the engine. So yeah, it is kind of a bummer that the brakes are not working like they should, but that is definitely something we can fix easily. And once we get that fixed, maybe we can take her for her first drive. So that is everything I've got for you today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing, it would really help me out. And otherwise, until next time.